So in the last video, I was talking about this beautiful quote, living in unconditional love and endless peace and infinite joy is the reason for being born a human, and any other life is actually missing the point of being human. So that's kind of cool. And I wanted to follow up on that by actually adding something else that comes to mind. And that's actually how lucky you are to be actually born human. Have you even thought of that before? So there's all these kingdoms on this planet. There's the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, the insect kingdom, the mammal kingdom, all these categories of different intelligence or different ways of life, different life forms, right? And humans fall into the mammals. And with all these kingdoms, they have a consciousness. The plants have consciousness, the insects have a consciousness, the animals have consciousness, and humans do too. Humans, and most of them move only within a very slight range of that consciousness. You know, you can train a dog to be more obedient. You can see and understand how whales work together, or elephants, or plant husbandry, you know, permaculture. Like there's ways all these life forms actually move consciously within their frequency or in their kingdom, however you want to call it. Humans, on the other hand, have the ability to move from the darkest of dark, the lowest of lowest consciousness, as you know. You know, we can fall into the pits of hell, the darkest of despair. You know, when you think about the darkest experience you've ever had, you know, fear or anguish or depression or despair, right? In your own experience, and then humanity can then rise up into just, you know, normality, what's classed as normality, you know, kind of like thinking but living in life, and then rise beyond that into states of enlightenment, bliss, being freed from the mind, consciousness, all the big words, samadhi, satori, enlightenment, different varieties or stages of enlightenment. And all of those are because you've left the thinking state of being caught up in the stories and the drama of the mind, and you actually just rest into this moment. And then that's actually classed as samadhi, satori, enlightenment, praying without ceasing, Christ consciousness, all that stuff. All those wonderful names are actually measurable experiences of consciousness. So humanity can rise from low to high, you know, so we have this range, and that's actually called evolving consciousness. And the fact that we can do that is actually makes humanity very, very precious, because we're the only species that can do that. Let's not like create a line and say the only, let's just say one of the few, because I don't actually know if there's any others. Like, do dogs do that? I just don't know. Do you know, ones that aren't domesticated, do spiders? I mean, I just don't know. So, but we know in humanity we can, and we know in our own journey of life what we've experienced with pain and suffering, and moments of absolute freedom, moments of expansion, moments of what's called a peak experience, when the mind stops and you're just in harmony with what is, and the joy and the bliss and the wonderment of this moment. So the fact that we can create that scale and actually keep moving up if we wish to, or down if we wish to, or if it just happens that way, means that we are pretty precious actually on this planet. So I would go as far as saying the fact that we can, we should. And if you can make a choice, you should make that choice. Now, the thing is with humanity, most people don't know that they have a choice. So they don't believe that they can make that choice. I was one of those. And then you start to realize you can create, or you can be a part of a teaching, or learn some tools so that you do have a choice. That's in my books called meditation. And when you meditate, you have a choice to see what you're thinking about and transcend it. You have a choice to actually stop thinking and to rest into the present moment. You have the choice to stay rested in the present moment and see what you experience. And then as you involve yourself or go through life from this present moment, you start to see how your relationship to this moment, to the world, to yourself, to thinking changes completely, because you're not your thoughts. When you realize you're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, and you're actually even not this body. You have a body, you have a business, you have thoughts, you have emotions, you have a life, you have all these things, but you're not it. Oh my gosh. you move into the higher states of consciousness, which is contentment, bliss, joy, not taking things personally, enjoying every moment just because, becoming the watcher, the witnesser of life rather than caught up in it. Oh, it's amazing. It's freedom. And that's what the peace that passes understanding is. That's what enlightenment is. That's what Satori is. That's what Samadhi is. You can have that experience. It's effortless. It just takes guidance.